happening now. A search and rescue mission is underway in Louisville, where a UPS cargo plane crashed right after takeoff. And we are getting some new information, brand new information from Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, who now says at least 16 families have reported loved ones unaccounted for. 16 families say they can't find their loved ones. Now, before the governor said that, we knew at least 7 people were believed dead, but the governor now says that death toll will likely rise. The plane tore through multiple businesses near the airport, among them a petroleum recycling plant that had tanks full of propane and oil. The plane itself was carrying more than 38,000 gallons of fuel, enough to last the 8-hour flight to Hawaii, where it was headed. The flames and smoke could be seen from miles away. A new photo appears to show the plane's debris scattered on the ground, including that which is believed to be one of the plane's engines. Let's get right to Louisville. CNN's Isabel Rosales is at the scene. Good morning to you. What's the latest?
Good morning, John. That piece of new and heartbreaking information, really, from the governor, Andy Beshear, that 16 families had loved ones who did not return home last night. The governor describing this as a significant search and rescue mission that is currently underway. Now, as that mission is happening, so too is this investigation here at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport, with an NTSB GO team set to arrive today. These are the people that are going to be in charge of conducting this investigation, of finding a reason for this crash. And they've got a lot of work ahead of them, John, from looking at forensic evidence on the ground, including pieces of the covering of the engine that we saw from aerial footage from our affiliate WLKY sprawled out across the runway, to new overnight images where we saw, as you mentioned there, a whole entire engine seemingly there on the ground. Another critical piece here is all of this footage that's coming in from surveillance footage, surveillance cameras, including this critical piece of footage showing the moment that this UPS plane is taking off, struggling to take off, and then we see that fire starting to spew from what appears to be the left engine. Now, that plane was likely full of fuel, getting ready for this 8+ hour trip to Hawaii. And then there's also this security surveillance footage from Kentucky Truck Parts and Service showing the moment of impact, just stunning footage, horrible to see, of that giant fireball and the trail of devastation that this crash leaves behind. And this really industrial area surrounding the airport, several businesses impacting, including Kentucky Petroleum Recycling, that looks to have been directly hit. This business, by the way, kept storage tanks of oil and propane. Listen now to Governor Andy Beshear.
Do not go to the crash site. You will put people in danger. You will put yourself in danger. There may be people that still need to be rescued. Do not be the reason that the first responders cannot get to them. There are still dangerous things that are flammable, that are potentially explosive at the site.
And John, they're advising anyone, if they find debris, don't touch it, take a picture, report it to Louisville Metro government. John.
Feels like we're just beginning to understand the beginnings of the scope of this disaster. Isabel Rosales, great to have you there. Keep us posted as to what you learn. Sarah?
All right, joining us now is the mayor of Louisville, Kentucky, Mayor Craig Greenberg. Thank you so much for being here. I know this is a very hard time for you and the community. We were just, hearing from the governor about the 16 families that are reporting that their loved ones did not show up last night. And of course, it wasn't just the plane, but the businesses that were engulfed in this explosion. What is the latest on the search for those family members? What are you learning?
The latest of about 2 minutes ago is I can now confirm we have found 9 victims of the crash. Again, we expect that number will continue to rise, but 9 victims have been found so far that have died as a result of this horrible tragedy. We have first responders are on the scene now that it's daylight again. The coroner has been working through the night and is there. NTSB will be arriving shortly in Louisville.
Wow. All right. So we started this morning knowing that 7 people had perished in this crash. You are now telling us the latest is that you have found 9 people, 9 families who will be mourning this morning. Thank you for that devastating information this morning. Is there still a dangerous situation at the site, at the airport and surrounding areas due to the fact that this also included, a Kentucky Petroleum and Recycling, which had some explosive materials that blew up as well?
So we have reduced, we had a larger shelter in place warning last night. It started large. We continued to shrink it through the evening. It's now down to a quarter-mile radius around the crash site. We're doing lots of air monitoring, and we'll continue to shrink that as it becomes safe for people to be outdoors. Additionally, the airport has reopened. So there is a runway, not the runway that the plane took off from, the UPS plane, but the airport has reopened this morning, and so flights will be resuming.
Wow. Okay. So that's another big piece of news that the airport has reopened and that more victims have been found so far. That leaves, I think, something like, 9 or 8 or 9 other victims who are still unaccounted for. I do want to ask you about what you're learning, if anything, from the NTSB, which, of course, investigates any kind of aircraft issue. Are you hearing anything from them as to the cause of this particular disturbing crash?
Not yet. I don't have any information on the cause yet. I was in touch with NTSB officials last night, have already been this morning. They're on their way here. And so as soon as they land, I'll be meeting them and look forward to learning more. My guess is it takes a while for them to do that investigation. And we, of course, want accurate information. And that's what will be on the scene here working towards.
That's fair enough. We've seen an image of an entire engine that was pretty much intact, that was on the ground there. I'm sure they'll be looking at that very closely. I do want to ask you about the fact that UPS is a hub there at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport, and they have a huge number of square footage. They have 12,000 employees. They have an impact on the economy of your great city. Are you learning anything about the impact on UPS, its staff, and its business this morning?
Well, I've been praying for everybody that's part of the UPS family. UPS is such an important part of our city. There are 20,000+ employees that call Louisville home. Their involvement in all aspects of the community. This is a tragedy for the victims that we've lost. It's a horrible event for everyone that's part of the UPS family and our entire city. So I've been speaking with UPS officials. They are heartbroken. They are going to be supporting all of the victims and their families. They're going to be cooperating fully with the investigation. They will be doing everything they can as a result of this tragedy that occurred. But UPS is so important to us in so many different ways for here in Louisville.
Mayor Craig Greenberg, I do thank you for taking the time this morning. I know you've had a long night dealing with this tragedy. And just to recap the new information that you brought us, 9 people have now been discovered killed because of this crash and explosion. And at the same time, the airport is back open, not obviously the runway this crash happened, but a different runway that is currently running and open this morning. I do thank you for your time, Mayor. Please take care of yourself.